Hey everybody, I'm Miss Alene and I want to thank you for joining us on Kids Corner for Armstrong Cable, channels 20 and 100. Today we're at Boardman Stadium Elementary School with the kindergarten class, and it is all about days of the week, pandas that don't sleep, and lots of fun things in between. So stay tuned and we will have two very fun stories and a really cool fuzzy-eared panda puppet project.
This Tuesday and this Wednesday, this Thursday and this Friday, and then this Saturday, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How's everybody feeling today?
Good.
Good. Are you guys ready to have some fun?
Yeah.
Me too. You guys look like you're ready to have some fun, so I'm pretty excited. Today, we are going to talk about nighttime, sleepy time, and pandas. So, let's start with actually a couple of questions. I heard you guys talking about the days of the week and things like that. So all of you guys know your days of the week, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. And our first story is a funny story, but there's not very many words. Have you ever seen a book where there's not very many words? Or there's no... Yeah? Me too. But this book is called Tuesday, and it's a fantasy book. It's somebody's make-believe story about what they think happens on Tuesdays at nighttime. Did you ever wonder what happens when you go to sleep? Yeah, me too. When I was little, I used to think, I wonder what goes on when I'm not awake. Do strange things happen at night that nobody knows about? Anybody ever wondered about that? I have. I used to think maybe my dolls would get up and play while I wasn't sleeping, or real funny things like that, and I'd have all sorts of funny fantasies about what would happen and how that would look and what they would do while I was asleep and while everybody else was asleep. So this book, it kind of thinks about that, and it is called Tuesday by David Weisner. So let's go ahead and look at Tuesday. You've seen this book before?
No, I said that book got a lot of awards because it has a coin.
It does. It did get a lot of awards, actually. This book is very well known, and lots of people love this book for the artwork and lots of cool things about it, because it's a pretty cool fantasy book. I also heard you guys talking about superheroes and movies with superheroes in them. So this kind of has some funny ideas about what may happen. And then on another note, I know you guys have some frog friends that you guys are taking home today. So it kind of ties in, strangely, all of those things at the same time. So again, this book is called Tuesday by David Weisner. Tuesday evening around 8. And we see turtles there, and they're just kind of hanging out, looking around like any other nighttime at 8. But then we see something very strange happen, don't we? The frogs have grown. Well, they haven't grown anything, but they've grabbed a lily pad that they sit on, and they are now flying on their lily pads. So what would happen if every Tuesday night when everybody went to sleep, frogs really flew around? That'd be pretty strange, right?
That's good.
Looks like they do like it a lot. They're having fun. They're doing tricks on their lily pads. They're flying all over the place. This one's got a big happy smile.
One is sideways.
Yep.
It tastes as a fry.
And now they are flying so high that they're flying over houses. What would you do if you woke up to get a glass of water in the middle of the night and you looked out of your window and saw frogs flying past? That'd be pretty funny, huh?
You'll wake everyone up.
Especially if they were outside of your window flying around smiling at you. That'd be really funny. And look, this man's up eating his sandwich, and it's now 11:21 p.m., so it's late at night. They've been flying around for a while, and look outside of his window. Do you see? Yeah, you see all the frogs outside of his window? And he's got to be thinking, am I seeing frogs outside of my window? Some people had their laundry out that night. And I don't think frogs are expert flyers per se. So they didn't quite see what they were about to run into. They ran into somebody's sheets, and they're all covered in someone's sheets now. So that's pretty funny.
There's a frog that's covered with sheets.
Yeah.
And one's hanging.
Do you see? There's frogs at the front of that sheet right there, and they're flying still, so the frog imprint is in the sheet. Very funny, huh?
There's one hanging.
Mm-hmm. There is one hanging, and this one's going, oh no, I'm about to run into it too. So that's pretty funny too. And we've now got Super Frog with his accidental cape from somebody's sheet. And now they're flying into someone's house. And this lady, she fell asleep, and it looks like she was watching TV. And it looks like now the TV became a point of interest to the frogs too. So they're in there watching TV with her while she's asleep. That's pretty silly.
He's pressing the remote with his tongue.
That's very funny. Thank you for pointing that out. Do you guys see all the funny stuff going on in this picture?
Yes.
It is now 4:38 in the morning because you know once you go to sleep at night, it goes up to 12 and then it turns into early morning time. So now it's 4:38 in the morning.
There's dog.
And uh-oh. I don't think the dog was prepared for the frog and the frog wasn't prepared for the dog. So the frog is now running from the dog. See, he was going this way, he stopped, and now he turned around and is going the other way, running from the dog. And the dog probably thinks it's a toy or something, and he's chasing the frog. And now the frog went and got his friends, and the frogs are chasing the dog. And that's got to be pretty funny for that dog. That dog's got to be like, hey, what's going on tonight?
There's a frog on his head. There's a frog on his head. There's a frog on his head.
There is.
Everywhere.
And we see more funny pictures with our frogs.
That's so funny. The frog looks like a zombie.
Oh, goodness. He looks surprised. And it's now morning time. So Tuesday night is all over. And guess what happened? Everything went back to normal. The frogs are now back where they're supposed to be in the pond. Yep.
Sounds like,
And he does not look very happy that his adventure is over, does he? And now the detectives are out because they probably got all sorts of strange calls that night for the police saying, I think there's a bunch of frogs flying around the neighborhood. So now the detectives are out and the police are out and they're looking at all these lily pads randomly thrown all over the neighborhood, huh?
That's a police dog.
Yep.
A fox.
And he looks pretty curious. And a whole week goes by until next Tuesday at 7:58 p.m., which is right before 8. When?
The frogs again.
This time it's pigs. So that was our very silly what happens at night when we go to sleep story, but it doesn't really happen like that. Usually everybody and everything kind of gets some sleep most of the time unless they are nocturnal animals, and nocturnal animals stay up. Were you going to say something?
Raccoons are nocturnal.
That's very true.
And owls are.
They are.
And foxes, because they like to hunt for birds' eggs.
Oh, goodness. So that was our very funny story, Tuesday, by David Weisner. So along those same lines, has anybody ever had problems trying to get to sleep when you go to bed?
I always wake up to try to.
I've had sometimes, like I go to bed and I'm just not quite ready to go to sleep, but it's time for bed. So what do you do sometimes when you're ready to go to sleep, but you're having a hard time going to sleep? How about you in the back?
I usually read a story and I fall asleep.
That's an excellent idea. Read a story or have one of your parents read a story to you, and then sometimes it'll be much easier to fall asleep. How about you right here?
When I go to sleep, my mom, it's pretty hard for me to go to sleep because I'm not really a good sleeper.
Oh.
So she gives me a glass of milk, then I just fall asleep.
Well, then that means you're a great sleeper. You just don't know it. Okay, how about somebody I haven't heard from yet? How about you right here?
I always stay up.
Uh-oh.
In bed.
You've got to get some sleep, so you must fall asleep at some point. You just don't remember falling asleep, which is kind of how it is. It's like 1 minute you're awake, and then, oh, it's morning. What just happened? I must have fell asleep. How about you in the back with the striped shirt?
Sometimes I either like try and close my eyes or like read a bedtime story.
Yep. Does anybody have any suggestions we haven't heard yet? You with the blue shirt? Yep, you.
When I go to sleep, if I wake up, my dad lets me go get a drink of water, and then then when it's morning, I would get a snack, and we go.
Yep. Okay, how about two more? So let me get you.
I usually just grab my sleeping bag and my bear that I made last night. Yeah, and just usually fall asleep.
Okay, that makes sense. Sometimes I, when I was younger, would grab a stuffed animal, which would be my sleeping buddy, and hang on to that, and I'd be asleep pretty soon. Okay, now I see hands that I haven't heard from yet, so let me take a couple more of you guys and try and give me something that I haven't heard yet. Anybody got something I haven't heard yet? How about you with the Pokemon shirt?
I usually just go downstairs and get some water.
Okay, and how about you in the back?
I usually just watch TV, and the TV makes me fall asleep really quick.
Oh my goodness, well you're pretty different. Most of the time TV will keep people up, so that's pretty unique.
That's the same with me. I always grab my stuffed lamb.
Sometimes I'll grab my stuffed
One
lamb,
at a time,
or I'll sleep with my big stuffed dog.
So we've got stuffed animals, we've got a glass of milk, we've got water. Sometimes somebody watches TV. Sometimes we read bedtime stories, all sorts of things.
I normally just put on the music and it falls me, and I just fall asleep in bed.
Music sometimes will help you go to sleep. That's very true. Okay, one more, because I haven't heard from you right here in the blue shirt.
Half a pond, there are like a frogs inside of it, and then those frogs will be last night.
One more time.
My frogs in my pond.
Mm-hmm.
They go super fast sleep.
Oh, okay. So you have frogs in your pond. Very cool. All right, guys. So let's talk about our next story a little bit more. And this story is called Chengdu Could Not, Would Not Fall Asleep. And can anybody tell me what Chengdu is? Raise your hands. Okay, how about you over here?
A panda.
He's a panda. And pandas are mammals. And they are from, does anybody know where pandas are from? Let's see, who haven't I heard from? I think you in the heart shirt.
China.
China, very good. They are from China. Does anybody know what pandas eat?
Bamboo.
Bamboo,
And
very
grass.
good.
And grass.
They do
And
eat
leaves.
grass and leaves, and in the zoo sometimes they'll give them sugar cane and things like that. So, are they little bitty animals?
No.
They're pretty big. They can get up to like 250 pounds. So those are big, big animals. And they can also grow up to 6 feet tall. That's pretty tall too, huh? Now I have another question about pandas. And, let me look at my notes real quick. Does anybody know how many fingers a panda has?
What?
How many fingers? Because different animals have different amounts of fingers. How about you with the gray shirt?
4? I know.
Surprise, I'm just gonna give you this one. They've actually got 5 fingers.
I knew that.
Who else has 5 fingers? Us, we've got 5 fingers too. And they use their fingers to help them pull apart the bamboo, and they use their teeth to help pull apart the bamboo. And it's pretty cool how they eat. But pandas are actually an endangered species. Does anybody know what that means? Okay. Let's hear from you again.
They're dangerous.
Nope, it doesn't mean that they're dangerous. Endangered species. One more person, I'll give you a guess. And you with the turquoise shirt with the zebra on it. What does endangered species mean?
It means that they're like almost endangered.
Something like that.
I like the
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys so that we can go ahead with our story in just a minute. An endangered species is an animal that is in danger of not being around if we don't be careful and we don't make sure that we keep them protected. So what happened is now we know pandas to live in the forest most of the time, right? But they didn't always necessarily live in the forest exclusively. They used to live in lowlands as well. But as people began to build things and make cities and things like that, the pandas got moved further and further. So now they're kind of up in the forest, mountainy areas, and they stay up there so that they stay safe. But in that process, we've lost a lot of pandas that used to be around. So now they're called an endangered species because there's not as many as there used to be. And again, this story is called Chengdu Could Not, Would Not Fall Asleep. And it's by Barney Salzberg. It was late and it was quiet. And everyone in the bamboo grove was sleeping. Everyone except Chengdu. He looks wide awake, doesn't he? No matter what Chengdu tried, he would not fall asleep. He looks a little worried too. Chengdu turned and he tossed and he twitched. But he would not fall asleep. Yep, sometimes if you just close your eyes, keep them closed. Again, it's one of those things where you're awake, and it's morning, I must have fell asleep. Chengdu scrunched. And he rolled. And he hung upside down.
Like a monkey.
Yeah.
He's a karate man.
But he still would not fall asleep. Thank you. Chengdu was very tired. He really wanted to be sleeping. So he climbed up and up until he found the perfect spot.
On another panda.
And soon everyone in the bamboo grove was sleeping. And Chengdu is sleeping now too. Everyone except Chengdu's brother Yuan. Yeah. So now Chengdu is nice and cozy, but he woke up his brother, and it looks like his brother's gonna have some trouble sleeping now too. The end.
Three pandas.
Yep. So we had lots of fun with bedtime and fantasy time and days of the week and pandas that don't sleep. Now it's time for our very fun fuzzy-eared panda puppet art project. Everybody ready?
Yeah!
Has some glue sticks, some glue bottles, some fuzzy ears, some googly eyes, and a paintbrush. You also have a stick. And we're going to put some glue right on the top of one of our glue sticks. So one of the sides, just the top, you're going to put some glue and make sure you put a lot of the glue stick glue up at the top, so go about that far down, just glue up all of this space right here, okay? And you will stick the gluey side to the paper. Take it and put some glue on one side of your circle, not a whole lot, just a little circle of glue right on the corner, just like ears are for a panda. Right in the corner, you're going to put a circle of glue, and then you'll put another circle of glue up at the top on the opposite side. So you should have some glue here and some glue here, okay? dip your paint brush into the black paint, and you are going to start making a circle like that on one side for the panda's eyes, and then you'll make another circle on the other side for the panda's eyes, and make sure it's big enough so that when you put your googly eyes, if you can see how big those are going to go in the middle of your circle, so the black part of your circle has to be bigger than the googly eyes. When you're done with that, you are going to take some more of your glue stick glue, and you're going to have to get it nice and gluey, just like you did your wooden stick, and you're going to rub it all on the back of your googly eyes. So we're going to start by going under one of our eyes, kind of in the middle, and we're going to make a line across to where the other eye is. And then we are going to come just like this to one of the corners and go down, and then come back to the other corner and go down, and then we'll fill it in. And now we've made our upside down triangle. Hey everybody, I'm Miss Alene, and I want to thank you for joining us today at Boardman Stadium Elementary School with the kindergarten class. Today we had a very fun time talking about days of the week, pandas that don't sleep, and lots of cool things regarding everything in between. So we also made our very cool fuzzy-eared panda puppets. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed our stories. And don't forget to join us next time and tune in to Armstrong Cable, channels 20 and 100 for Kids Corner. And until then, we say goodbye.